Most people believe they struggle with discipline because they are lazy, distracted, or inconsistent. But neuroscience shows a very different explanation. The real issue is not your character. The real issue is your brain's default programming. Your brain was optimized for survival, not for long-term achievement. And in the modern environment, that survival programming quietly interferes with your goals every single day. If you often delay meaningful work, choose comfort over progress, or promise yourself you will start later, you are not broken. You are executing an automatic neural script. That script was once useful. Today, it is outdated. The encouraging part is this: automatic scripts can be rewritten through deliberate repetition and environment design. Your behavior is largely controlled by two interacting brain systems. One system is fast, emotional, and energy-conserving. The other is slower, analytical, and effort-demanding. The fast system evolved first and still dominates by default. Its primary job is to minimize risk and conserve fuel. For most of human history, wasted energy reduced survival odds. Immediate reward increased survival probability. As a result, your brain developed a bias toward ease, familiarity, and quick payoff. This bias shows up today as procrastination and distraction. When you begin difficult work, your brain does not evaluate future benefit. It evaluates present cost. It detects uncertainty, effort, and possible failure. Then it produces resistance signals, mental fatigue, wandering attention, sudden urges to check something else. These sensations feel personal, but they are biological protection responses. Dopamine is one of the main drivers behind these responses, and it is often misunderstood. Dopamine is not the pleasure chemical. It is the anticipation and pursuit signal. It rises when a fast reward seems available. That is why digital stimuli are so powerful. Notifications, scrolling, and novelty promise instant payoff with minimal effort. Each time you respond, you strengthen the loop that favors quick reward behaviors. Delayed reward behaviors, like studying, training, or building, produce weaker early dopamine signals. Without training, the brain ranks them as inefficient. Over time, this creates a reinforcement cycle. You avoid effort, feel relief, and relief becomes a reward marker. The brain logs avoidance as success. Repetition turns this pattern into a habit network. Habit networks eventually feel like identity, even though they are only reinforced pathways. Neuroplasticity changes the equation completely. Your brain continuously rewires based on repeated action. Pathways that fire repeatedly grow stronger and faster. Pathways that are interrupted weaken. This means discipline is not a personality trait. Discipline is a constructed circuit. It is built through repetitions of effortful choice. Imagine building a mental strength pathway. Early repetitions feel unstable and uncomfortable. Later repetitions feel controlled. Eventually, the behavior becomes automatic. Brain imaging research shows repeated self-regulation increases connectivity and executive control networks. In practical terms, self-control becomes more efficient the more you practice it. There is an important transition point during rewiring. Resistance often increases right before stability forms. The brain prefers predictable discomfort over unpredictable improvement. Familiar patterns feel safe even when they are harmful. When resistance rises, most people assume they should stop. In reality, rising resistance often signals that change is working. Discomfort should not automatically be interpreted as danger. It is frequently a growth indicator. Instead of asking whether you feel ready, ask whether the action aligns with your direction. Direction is more reliable than emotion. Action frequently produces motivation, not the reverse. Behavioral momentum research confirms that starting is the highest friction barrier. Once started, continuation likelihood rises significantly. This is why small starts are powerful. Commit to 5 minutes, not 50. Small commitments reduce perceived threat and lower avoidance response. Starting generates motion. Motion generates engagement. Engagement generates continuation. Progress is built from starts, not from perfect plans. Environment design multiplies discipline results. Willpower alone is fragile under constant temptation. Structure removes temptation before willpower is needed. Increase friction around distractions and decrease friction around productive actions. Move distraction tools farther away. Make focus tools easier to access. This converts discipline from a constant battle into a background advantage. Measurement strengthens identity change. Emotions fluctuate daily, but metrics create stability. Track completed focus sessions. Track resisted impulses. Track deliberate starts. Visible evidence of repetition feeds reinforcement circuits and strengthens self-trust. Expect emotional delay and growth. Feelings change after behavior stabilizes, not before. Confidence is built from completed actions, not from waiting for readiness. Action creates proof. Proof creates belief. Belief creates identity. Identity sustains behavior. Eventually, your internal rules update. Effort feels standard instead of threatening. Delay feels acceptable instead of painful. Focus feels repeatable instead of rare. Progress becomes intrinsically rewarding. At that stage, discipline no longer feels forced. It feels like who you are. You are not fighting your brain. You are training it. Your brain is adaptive, but it requires leadership. If you want to master your mind instead of being directed by impulse, this channel is your training ground. Subscribe and train your brain deliberately, one repetition at a time. There is another layer to this that most people never consider. Your brain does not just react to effort and reward. It constantly predicts identity. It asks a silent question behind every repeated behavior. Is this who we are? When actions repeat, the brain updates self-modeling. That means discipline is not only behavior training, it is identity signaling. When you repeatedly delay work, your brain encodes a pattern of avoidance identity. When you repeatedly begin difficult tasks, even imperfectly, your brain encodes an initiation identity. Identity is not declared, it is recorded through repetition. This is why small, consistent actions are more powerful than rare, intense efforts. Psychologists call this self-perception updating. You believe what you observe yourself doing, not what you intend to do, not what you plan to do, what you actually repeat. That is why tracking completed starts is more powerful than tracking perfect outcomes. Starts change identity faster than results. There is also a cognitive energy factor involved. Decision fatigue reduces control strength across the day. Each choice consumes regulatory energy. That means discipline should be scheduled early when possible. High performers reduce optional decisions around important work. They standardize routines so that effort is spent on execution, not selection. Another overlooked factor is emotional forecasting error. Humans are poor at predicting how hard tasks will feel and how good completion will feel. We overestimate discomfort and underestimate satisfaction. This bias keeps people stuck at the starting line. The correction method is evidence logging. After each completed effort session, record how it actually felt. Over time, your prediction accuracy improves and resistance drops. There is also a social reinforcement dimension. Behavior spreads through proximity. If your environment normalizes distraction, your control threshold drops. If your environment normalizes focused effort, your control threshold rises. This is not motivation, this is behavioral contagion. Surroundings shape standards silently. Reward timing also matters. Long projects should include intermediate reward markers. The brain needs visible progress signals to maintain drive. Break large goals into measurable checkpoints. Completion signals produce dopamine stabilization and sustain effort loops. Without checkpoints, motivation decays even when direction is correct. Language matters too. The way you speak to yourself alters regulation response. Self-criticism increases threat signaling and avoidance behavior. Instructional self-talk improves execution. Replace judgment language with directive language. Not, why am I like this, but next step is this. The brain responds better to commands than to criticism. Sleep and cognitive control are tightly linked. Sleep loss reduces prefrontal regulation and increases impulse dominance. Many discipline failures are actually recovery failures. Protect sleep and your control system strengthens automatically. Fatigue management is discipline support, not laziness. Stress load also shifts behavior toward immediate reward seeking. Under stress, the brain discounts future value more aggressively. That means stress reduction is not optional for long-term discipline. It is structural support. Breathing control, walking, and mental reset intervals restore regulation capacity. Finally, understand that consistency beats intensity across every behavioral study. Extreme effort spikes create burnout cycles. Moderate, repeatable effort builds stable circuits. Sustainable discipline is boring by design, and boring is powerful because it is repeatable. If you apply these principles, you are not relying on motivation, you are installing systems. Systems reduce decision load. Reduced decision load increases execution. Increased execution rewires identity, and identity sustains discipline without constant struggle. Mastery is not dramatic. It is constructed quietly through repeated directed action, and that process is available to you starting now.